Phase 2 refurbishment process on my 2004 Volkswagen GLi. This is going to be all about getting the surface of the vehicle ready for paint correction. We're gonna go through a multi-step process in getting that surface ready. And we're taking multiple steps because we really don't want anything left on the surface of the car when we go to paint correction. If any little bits of sand or dirt or grime get caught in the polishing pad, it's just gonna further embed it into the paint. We're gonna have more work for us than we really wanna do. So we're gonna take the time and go through a multi-step pre-surface preparation process here. First, we'll hit it with a pressure washer. We'll get all the loose dirt off. Then we will go for a decontamination wash. After the decontamination wash, we will hit it with fallout spray. The fallout spray will loosen any embedded tar, road grime, overspray. It'll loosen all that. We'll agitate it a little bit and then we'll hose that off as well. Once we're done with that, we'll take it a step further and go with clay bar. Clay bar further grabs all the little bits that are embedded onto the surface of the paint, pulls them off, leaving the surface as clean as we can before we move on to the polishing stage. The weather turned on me a bit, so I've set up this makeshift tent out of a tarp. That's mainly to just keep me dry while I'm doing it. There's really no harm in doing this entire surface prep out in the rain. I don't want to get soaked, so we'll stay dry. Definitely got soaked with this drip over here. And then I stood up and ate it pretty good with that little puddle came on the tarp, but it's all good. It's just a little water. And now we've done the first part of this phase in getting this ready for paint correction. Next up is our decontamination spray. Now that we've pressure washed all the loose particles off the surface, we can go ahead and hit it with this wash. This wash will loosen up anything further. Next step in the surface prep here is to hit it with some fallout remover. Like I said earlier, the fallout remover removes things like overspray, tar, iron deposits that are in the paint, a little bit of not surface rust, but oxidized stuff that's in the surface of the paint. This doesn't get rid of rust from underneath the paint. Okay, so now we've got to wait about 5 minutes for this to activate and start bringing things to the surface. We're supposed to see a bit of a color change happening on the surface. So once that starts happening, we'll take a look at it and then move on to the next step. All right, let me show you the color change I was talking about with the fallout remover. You can see it pretty clearly on this wheel. See that purple color? That means that it activated and pulled up a whole bunch of fallout, a bunch of iron. All right, fallout's done. Now it's time to give it a quick wash before we clay bar. For clay bar, we're gonna pull it inside because I just, quite frankly, don't wanna work outside in the rain. So we hit it with a wash, clay bar, and then I think I'm gonna actually take this to a 6th wash it one more time before bringing it back in and letting it dry. We are finally ready to pull this car in and start clay barring. Clay barring is going to be very tedious, but very, very, very well worth the time. It's gonna be that last step before our final wash that really pulls out as much contaminants from the surface as possible. Because remember, when we go into phase 3, we want this thing to be as flawless as possible. We don't wanna take all this hard work and flush it down the toilet. All right, time to pull in the car. Easy. Easy. There we go. It's a good thing nobody can hear me right now. All right, car's in. I favored it to one side. That'll let me clay bar this a little easier. I need a little bit more space to work. It's a little cramped in my workshop, but we're gonna make the best of it. So I've got it to one side. We'll clay bar this whole side, the front and the back. Then yeah, I'll just back out a bit, shimmy it over to this side, and then we'll finish off that side. Get on to clay barring the car. You just need a little bit of clay. Typical bar is about that big. I just take a little piece off. This is a medium duty piece that I had from before. I'm just kneading it in my hand until it's about the size of my palm. Gonna use a bit of detail spray. Going to be quite liberal with this spray. You just rub the clay back and forth. We work in small areas. You'll actually, you can kind of hear it, but you'll feel a bit of resistance on the surface of the paint here. And that is the clay doing its job. It's picking up all the contaminants that are on the surface level. Fold it and move on to the next little section. Now with clay, you wanna just go in a back and forth motion. You don't wanna go in circles. We're gonna repeat this process until we've covered the entire car. It is very tedious, very time consuming, and very worthwhile. Payoff in the end when you go to cut polish, you will not regret. You wanna keep rubbing back and forth until you don't feel that resistance anymore. And the clay's not getting stuck. Remember, don't be shy when spraying your clay lubricant. It actually slows things down if you don't use enough. You want the clay to glide. It doesn't actually take a whole lot of downward force pressure, not nearly as much as you would think. The clay kind of does all the work. Just got to give it a little bit of pressure, but you're not sanding here. You're not having to put a whole lot of downward force into it. Okay, so once you've worked an area for a while, take the piece of clay, fold it over, knead it back out to a workable surface. I find about the size of my palm is great. I suppose you could use more clay and a bigger piece. The only downfall to using a bigger piece is that if you drop that piece on the ground, it's going to pick up a lot of crap that you don't want to be rubbing back into your paint. So if you drop it, that piece, in my opinion, is pretty toast. This way, it just makes your clay go that much further. That was a lot of work. Clay barring was very boring. Now we're on to the 6th and final wash. We're gonna give this one more wash, get all the clay lubricant off, and then we'll pull it in, let it dry, and then we will move on with phase 3. There we have it. Surface preparation is now complete. We've washed it multiple times, we've decontaminated. Now we're ready to let this dry inside the garage so that we can start phase 3.